All right. So we're live. Let me get some more light in here. Hang on. I'll put this away real quick. All right. So let's see. Where are we? Lots of kind of interesting stuff going on. You know what I need to do though? Let me get some juice over here for my phone. Hang on. Little low on juice for the phone, and I rely on it pretty heavily. And it's basically because I've been doing a lot this morning. Let's see. We want the short one of these guys. Okay. Okay. Let's bring this over here, maybe. All right. Plug this guy in. All righty. Okay. Okay, cool. Here we are. So, okay. So I'm just going to do a straight confessional, and basically what this is sort of whatever comes to mind. And I am going to, let's take a clean sheet of paper. All right, this is perfect. So real time, I want to talk about what you just heard. I also want to talk about ordering my business cards. And we'll talk about carte blanche. And also PTO. All right. And then I'm just going to take notes as we go. So what you just heard, let's start with carte blanche and PTO. So today is Friday, and I have the next 5 days off. And I don't have any agenda other than I am wanting to be present. That's about it. I want to be mindful. I have done what I consider to be home sessions. If you're familiar with mindfulness, and especially the Japanese tradition, Zen, Buddhism, a session is essentially, for lay people, Zen Buddhists don't like this word, or some of them, my teacher doesn't like this, but just from a layman's English for session is kind of like a meditation retreat. And kind of in general, or a common format for such a retreat would be sleep, eat, meditate, and work. And some of them are just sleep, eat, and meditate. And the work is usually usually light work. Some of them have no work at all. Some of them will have Dharma talks. But that's it. Sleep. So it's at the core, it is sleep, eat, meditate, and really you're wanting to be mindful the whole time. There's no talking really, other than something that might be required for work. You know, like, hey, I'm supposed to be vacuuming the hall. Where's the vacuum? or something like that. All right. So, so that is something I want to do. To me, that is like a vacation. I want to take a vacation from time. I'm going to say from time and structure. But that's really all. So I am totally fine with running errands, cooking. I'm definitely going to be meditating. I'll probably be doing my normal evening routine. And I'm actually fine with doing anything. And doing this is actually fun for me. I like doing this. So I don't want to excuse me. I don't want to evaluate really anything I do very much with regard to Adam, which is how I scrutinize things. So I don't need to scrutinize anything. I don't care. This is free time. This is, time that I would otherwise be working for my job, right? Excuse me, I don't know what the hell. So this is, I want a vacation from time. I want a vacation from structure, a vacation from scrutiny. Scrutiny. And for example, what I would be normally doing today when I go through my to-do list, I'd be using the Atom format for scrutinizing my inbox, my Gmail inbox, my to-do list, if you will. And I'm not going to go into it, but Atom is like average person, damage, accumulate, and meaningfulness or matters, doesn't matter, especially in like tomorrow and stuff like that. So normally I'm like, I'm scrutinizing heavily what it is that I'm doing. I wouldn't be playing guitar. I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be very much focused on the must-do things for today, and then giving myself, sort of permission to execute the plan of the day and stuff like that. So with being off today, I don't want to completely squander the day. I don't want to be doing this like all morning or anything. But a check-in here and there might be a good idea. It might help other people. So I'm not going to try to go to any extreme or another. I don't want to just completely squander the day, doing like ADHD project stuff, or squander the entire day getting very deeply into guitar or anything like that. So I don't want to go too far that extreme, but I also don't want to just be doing a session, just be meditating. I actually have tried it a couple of times. I did a month of a home session because, during COVID, that's all you had. And I essentially kind of just more like isolated, not the only real people I talked to were like my kids and, very infrequently people at work, but in some cases emails and things, with related to my job, but I was really very much isolated, and it was really awesome. I mean, my brain really, really got to a calm state, and that's what I want to do now. Now, the second, I'm going a little off track here, but that's what we do. The second session that I did, and again, I'm trying to focus this more on myself, but also to be relevant to other people. But my second session didn't go the way I planned it to, but it was still okay. I ended up, excuse me, I ended up doing a little more work and a little less meditation than I otherwise would have, but it was okay. I have to let it be okay. And so for this next 5 days, I just want to be mindful. In fact, let me make sure I've got this because I'm going to talk about this. Okay, I do have it in here. So we'll get to how I want to remember to just be mindful, just be present, and I'll address that in a second. But I don't want to get greedy. Gosh. I don't want to get greedy really in any, so I don't want to squander it completely, but I don't want to be greedy either. I just want to basically have a vacation from time, a vacation from structure, a vacation from scrutinizing every single thing I need to do, because by definition, I have carte blanche. I am on vacation. So since I'm on vacation, I have this free time, right? Now, what would be the exception? What would be happening if I was and I have this little mental sort of trick, kind of, and I don't know why I use the word Spain, but I always use the word Spain when I think about vacation. Maybe it was just the first example. I just don't know. But anyway, I was like, look, if I was on vacation in Spain, let's say I'm on vacation. I'm going to Spain for 3 weeks on vacation. There's nothing. I can't do anything at home. Would my house still be standing when I returned from Spain? And the answer is, of course it would. Now, I am not messing things up. An example of that would be not cooking. But like a friend of mine said, and it's funny how the average person or friends of mine, I remember a friend of mine mentioned laundry. It just stuck in my head because he's like, yeah, I've been on vacation. And I'm like, wow, that must be really nice. He's like, yeah, it's tough kind of coming back home. And I said, well, what is that? Because I understand coming back to work, because when you go on vacation, your work doesn't necessarily go away. So it takes a lot of effort for some people. You got to kind of put things in place, and you try to get a lot of things done before you leave, and then you're gone and the business doesn't stop. And then you got to catch up when you get back to work and all that. But like at home, like what would there be? Like what happened? You weren't even here. Like what? And so he said, I didn't ask him that. This is just in my head. And so that's why I asked the question. I said, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you, and he said, well, there's going to be a lot of laundry to do. And I just thought about it. I don't know how long he was on vacation, right? But is there really a lot of laundry to do? Like, how much laundry do you do? What I do, and if I'm doing a staycation, I won't use any more laundry on a staycation as I would on a vacation. Or, sorry, I wouldn't use any more laundry on a staycation as I would on like when I'm not on vacation. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe if it's like the whole family and like you're the one that has to do the laundry or something, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I guess if you're gone for like a month maybe or something, but anyway, whatever. But that's what he said. He said laundry. And I'm like, okay, well, if I was in Spain, I would be wearing clothes. Maybe you're wearing more clothes too because you're on vacation, you're going out and all that kind of stuff. Like, so it's a little different. And so, yeah, I mean, granted, let's say that when I'm on vacation, I'm still dirtying clothes, right? I'm still wearing clothes. And so they're getting dirty and I can't clean them. So it can accumulate. So I have the Adam principle of accumulation. Again, in my case, I didn't have to do anything to kind of catch up or to prepare for my vacation from work. I just fucking left. And I have another vacation coming up, a full week, which would be, I think that would be 9 days off. The week after week after next week or something. Yeah, it's the week after next. In fact, I'm in the office like 3 days. So I'm out today, Friday, through Tuesday. So I'm back in or at work Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'm gone for 9 days. So I have just enormous time ahead of me. Okay. Anyway, so we talked about the laundry thing, and then it's like if I was in Spain, I wouldn't be messing up my kitchen or doing dishes. I'd be spending a lot of money because I'd be dining out, but that would be nice, and I wouldn't have any. I wouldn't have to clean up my kitchen, which is a fair amount of day to day for me. And I also cook all my meals because I like to eat clean and stuff like that. I go to the gym. I don't know if I was on vacation, would I be still going to the gym? I probably would. And I think a lot of people do, especially if you like it. And then you've got, endurance athletes and stuff like that you have to run, you have to cycle, you have to, stay in shape. In fact, some vacations are exercise, right? So anyway, this would be an interesting scrutiny. So I'm going to put an asterisk with a circle around it, and that is whenever I want to really draw my attention to something so that I don't just go to the next page of notes or whatever. So it's kind of like a to-do. And I want to think about adding a vacation to my scrutiny so that whether I'm on vacation or not, when I evaluate, hey, I'm doing this, would I be doing these things on vacation? And maybe that's something that I could start doing now. It's like, so I have the average person damage, accumulate, and doesn't matter. That's the Adam system. But if I applied the vacation system, so for example, errands and going to the grocery and that kind of stuff, like going to the grocery and cooking could be something that I could immediately get rid of if I'm on vacation. Because I don't travel, I'm not spending a lot of money, I'm not driving places or flying places and staying in. I'm not doing it. I do not care about that stuff, which allows me to have these everyday luxuries all the time. But then even like during my vacation, it's like, hey, I'm going to do whatever. Now, here's the difference though. Here's the difference. I like to eat clean. I like to be able to eat at home. I don't like dining out. There's really there's like one place I dine out. But let me say 2 places, 3 places. But really, the only place I eat that is even like reasonable is that's Chipotle. Chipotle is where I eat. It's just where I eat because it's the healthiest thing that I really would want to eat that I can eat every day. I've always been a Mexican or Tex-Mex food fan. I was a specialist in Mexican food when I was into cooking, and it just works for me. I can eat it every single day. I don't want to eat it every single day just because it seems like such a waste when I can just eat at home the same stuff. But it's a nice relief, pressure release. It's a nice to be able to just hit Chipotle on the way somewhere, or if I'm out playing somewhere, I can just go to Chipotle. Now, there are two other places that I eat, but they're pizza places. Pizza places where I get pizza or like even fried food. Horrible shit. So that just doesn't even count. And would it be a nice indulgence for a vacation kind of thing? Yeah. And if I really, really, want to do that, I guess it's okay. But it goes against what I'm trying to do because it's weird, I know, but the last thing I want to do on my vacation is to kind of indulge in anything that's like fleeting, especially if it's fleeting, but the consequences of it are not really good for me. And that's where you get pizza. Pizza is an absolute bad for you. Money is gone after you do it. It's very fleeting. It's super fast. It's just not my choice. Okay. What I'm actually wanting to focus on are things that are meaningful. And pizza is just not meaningful. It's fleeting. Same thing with guitar. Now, guitar is something that I'm just going to choose the guitar to have fun with. And so let's see, the notifications. And we can go into, that might be a good segue into, just a quick update on planning and where I am in the day. And I haven't gone through my phone, which is going to be interesting because maybe today, why don't we do this? Let's apply the vacation filter instead of the Adam principle. Let's apply the vacation principle sort of to this because there's also a context. Okay, that was a flurry of ideas. So Here's another sort of, when we think about vacation, it's like, okay, I actually don't have to do, so I'm going to put the vacation criteria. Got a little bit of duplication in here in all of what I'm attaching to sort of scrutiny. But there's two main things, and we're going to practice this right now. And that is the vacation criteria. So it's like, I'm going to look at this list of things and I want to say, hey, what could I even do if I was in Spain, right? So that's the criteria number one for this scrutiny is going to be the vacation idea. And the vacation idea has to do with the fact that, look, I'm on vacation, I should have fun and all that. But then there's this sort of idea of like, if I was physically in Spain, what could I even do? And here's where we get into this idea of like, I don't even have a kitchen, for example, right? Let's say I don't have a kitchen. And would I even really want to do something like that if I went to Spain? If I went to St. Augustine, I went to St. Augustine several years. And it was like beach and a condo, and like, yeah, I would order like takeout pizza. I would go to, there was a lot of good seafood, so I'd eat seafood. But then other than that, just day to day and snacks and like breakfast and stuff like that. And, you know, usually lunch, but sometimes lunch would be a pizza. But basically it was kind of just normal because I was in a condo. I had a kitchen. There was a grocery store nearby, and I just kind of wanted to live like a chill life, and I didn't mind cooking. I also definitely wanted to have like snacks and stuff like that. So anyway, kind of like my life here is almost like that, especially if I'm on a staycation. So that's the idea of it. So I need to be aggressive and say, could I even go to the grocery? Could I even cook if I was in Spain? And just that initial scrutiny, right? And then I'm still in charge. I can say, look, I want to cook. I want to go to the grocery, or maybe there's nothing else to do. And that takes us to the other criteria, which is also helps with not doing things. And it's the idea that I sort of need something to do. I kind of want to have things to do for the next 5 days and then for the next week, because I need to intersperse things or alternate between kind of working and then doing my sitting meditation. Normally what you do is you do the walking meditation, or you do like some work and stuff. So it would be nice for me to have some things to do in between my sitting meditation. sessions, especially if it's raining out or super hot. I don't want to be outside, whatever. And so that's the scrutiny that I'm going to apply now to, like, sort of when I'm doing my morning planning. One of the things I might want to do is just to not plan anything. Do I even have to plan anything if I'm on vacation? So, or can I make it very fast? Like, look, you got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to decide what is the damage. So maybe what we do is we don't worry about accumulate in the Adam model. We just focus on, and not even really the average person, unless we want to say the average person on vacation, but the damage side of things and the things like what matters. And maybe what matters probably doesn't even need to be that important because we're in a different total mindset. We've got just infinite time. And so maybe we focus on that damage. It's like, what really, if I was in Spain, I would still have to make sure that my taxes were filed. You know what I mean? My daughter still might need to go to the doctor or something. So there's that kind of stuff, but that should be it. And then those kinds of things go to my universe list. And we can talk about that later. Okay, so that's that. What was so notifications. So before we get to the notifications that we just heard, and by the way, we're at what I have this new thing I'm doing called the bottom of the hour. Which I'll talk about next before we go back to the phone. So there's 2 more things now. So we're going to go to those notifications that you just heard. And then that's also kind of part of the planning because I don't think I ever finished. No, I haven't. I have not finished going through my stuff, but I think we're going to do this modified vacation or staycation criteria. All right. But before that, I want to let me do an update of what I did do this morning. And what was really kind of cool is yesterday, at just some point yesterday, I just captured an idea that I need to have business cards. I need to accumulate fans, like audience, people who want to watch me play music. I also have spoken to venues about my music, and many times, project manager for one festival, actually another project manager for another. So 2 festival project managers who wanted my information, who wanted me to play. Now we add the guy, I should probably write these down. I should just make a list of these guys. So we've got, damn it, I forgot the name of this lady who works at a brewery. What is her name? Because she really liked my music and stuff, and it's just a good connection to this brewery. I think I got it. And I just need to remember. Yeah, got it. And I guess similarly, I need to keep like a Rolodex of all my contacts. So I've got ideas for things that I want to do. Oh, here's another thing I want to do. Craigslist. Okay, I just want to keep a quick list, and I love these little small notepads because there's just a psychological thing about, okay, I'm taking a quick list. I'm going to put it here. It's a physical cue. I've got some other lists, but they tend to age, and I can sort of know like how much I can ignore them because the older they are. So it's the fresh things that I pay more attention to. And this is like a fresh thing, and it's in literally closer to me, physically closer to me. Okay, so then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let me grab right now, because I'm going through this process with you. I do need to look at this sort of now instead of thinking that I don't have to. Okay, because I know there's something on here that I need to do, and that is water. So we're going to do water right now. If I'm going to be doing these, I need to allow myself, and it's just like with you or with me, if I'm, why am I waiting to do something that takes 10 seconds? I've got my wet bar right here. I mean, this is 10 seconds. Why do I need to get through an hour agenda? It's like I feel like I need to be done. Somehow I feel like I need to be done. Okay. Let's see the notifications. So ordering. So I was going through, and I was kind of already applying this kind of vacation mentality when I was planning my day today. So I had this item that said business cards, because I had these people. I've had many people that just ask me about my information, and I'm like, oh, this is, I give them my name and my stage name, my kind of band name, sort of. But I know that it's not gonna. There's no substitute for having a card that you can give to somebody else where they don't have to give you their information. They don't have to write anything down. It reminds them. The business card, I think, remains relevant. And so what I did is I wrote, so yesterday this occurred to me. I was like, I just need to do a business card. I need to do business cards because I'm losing contacts. And you know what another thing I've got to do is I need to update where I'm playing. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I can do this right now, actually. I'm going to capture this on my phone. Check this out. Text me, boo.
What do you want to say?
Keep fans up to date on where I'm going to be playing using Instagram.
Send it?
Yes.
Done.
That was just an idea. And so what I did was, the fastest way to catch something and get it into my digital memory is to do what I just did. And that's just texting myself. There's a whole reason why I call it me boo and all that. I could get into it. But now I've got it. I've got that. It's going to be on my home screen, in the badge count, blue dot, all that stuff, right? And I could do some of these other things too, but I was doing some of them through my notes. So I've got this. I've got all this scribble here that I've come up with as I was talking about you. Okay, so back to the business cards. So Um, so yesterday I was literally just going on a walk, walking around the block or something. And I just decided I'm just going to start throwing stuff into Gmail. You know, if my hands are free, then I'll go ahead and go straight to Gmail because I can long tap on the Gmail icon and then just pretty quickly send an email to myself that gets it into my inbox. But if my hands aren't free or I need to catch an idea real quick or I'm in the middle of something like this, I can do a text message to myself, and it's very easy to just long press and copy that text message to myself over into Gmail. It's just no big deal. So anyway, so yesterday I'm on a walk and I'm like, I got to do business cards. I just have to have business cards for my music. I just got to do it. So I just kind of created, I emailed myself, and this morning I saw it. And then I'm like, look, I'm on vacation today. Let's just do it now. Like, how easy is there a way that I could do FedEx Office, just do a generic vanilla card on my phone right now? And I was able to do it. It was a little clunky. It's not that smooth, but I was able to do it. All I needed was 4 lines of text. My name, it was my name, my Venmo, my name, my Instagram, my Venmo, and my phone number. That was it. One side, just all big text on a card. That's it. And it's great. So I ordered it. It's going to be ready at noon. So it's 8:39, just for context. But so I'll be able to go pick up those business cards. And then I have this other thing where I want to go to venues, and we'll see that. But the point is that this morning right now I just did it because time for me doesn't exist. And it's something that I wanted to do. It's exactly the kind of thing that I would not do. So it's almost like, what is it called? Upside down world, bizarro world, upside down, the upside down in Stranger Things, whatever, Twilight Zone, whatever. It's backwards day, for the next 5 days. Let's just be backwards. Let's do all of the things without thinking. And especially the things that I normally would be like, nah, let's not do that because I'd rather get my shit together first or whatever. Like, let's not worry about that stuff. So I did it right there. And that's why I'm kind of I started this, is to brag about that. So that's the business cards. Next, we're going to get into those notifications that you heard at the beginning of this. But before I do that, there's one more thing. And I want to talk about this new strategy that I'm playing around with right now. And it's this idea of the beginning, middle, and end of an hour. And I think I'm calling it, I don't know exactly. I'm very, some words just resonate with me. So you can think of it as the beginning, middle, and end. You can think about it as the early, bottom, and latter or later or latter part of an hour. Because you got the bottom of the hour, so where are we now, by the way? We're at 8:41 now, according to my new thing. So the first 20 minutes of the hour is like the beginning of the hour, or we can just call it like the beginning. I like beginning, middle, and end, roughly. It's just easier. So the beginning of the hour is from the top of the hour to 20 past. And then from 20 past to 20 till is that bottom of the hour. So you can call it the middle or the bottom. It doesn't matter. I like the idea of the bottom of the hour because it's really like the bottom of the hour. You get the top, you get the bottom. I don't know. There's something visual about it. And like that bottom being 10 minutes on either side of the bottom of the hour is just kind of like that bottom of the hour. So it's kind of halfway through, the middle, whatever you want to think about. And then you have the end, or the later part of the hour. Let's just call it the end of the hour, which is that last 20 minutes, 20 till until the top. It's like, what is it, like that or whatever, to the top of the hour. And it's at that end of the hour, that end or that third, what do you call it? That third part of the hour where it's time to start thinking, did I get what I need done? Do I need to like forward anything into the next hour? And the whole idea of this is that I don't want to have an alarm. I used to have an alarm for this, and I don't want to get into it, but it's just the concept is, where am I in the hour? And if I think 60 minutes is too complicated. It's too hard to conceptualize, but just little 3 parts, I think I can do it. You could do 4 parts too. You could do like the first quarter of the hour, to 15 minutes, 15 to 30, 30 to 45, 45. But I still think that's too much. And it doesn't let me, it eliminates that bottom of the hour part like this. And there's different. The top of the hour is different because the top of the hour is a hard thing. It's like I'm going from 1 hour into another hour, and there's things that happen. There's things that show up in a new hour on my lock screen. There's things I need to make sure show up in that new hour. Whereas the bottom of the hour is a lot more flexible. It's just like this idea that I'm like halfway through the hour, kind of. And right now it's 8:44 a.m. So I'm in the end. I'm in the end I'm in the end part of the hour, the latter part of the hour. Latter's the later part of the hour, something. I'll get used to it somehow, but that's where I am. And so it's kind of the time. I also love the 20-minute interval. There's a lot of reasons why, because a lot of things sort of 20 minutes is relevant to me in terms of things that take more than 20 minutes and less, but 15 minutes is also that, but for different reasons I can get into. But 20 minutes is kind of like a real relevant thing because many things take more than 20 minutes and many things take less than 20 minutes. So those things that are less than 20 minutes, maybe I can get them done, and I should be doing those. And we're going to look at it right now. Anyway, that's the idea. So right now it's 8:45. We're in the latter part of the hour, the later portion of the hour. And so now when I pull up this list right now, before I even go back to Gmail, but I need to go back to Gmail, but I want to look at what's on my lock screen because it has to take precedence. Of course, I never finished even a cursory view for items that are going to cause damage. But what is my secret sauce, my secret weapon? And that is that I'm off work. So it's 8:46. I wouldn't be able to do anything right now anyway. So anything today that I would think I needed to do is just, I wouldn't do it unless it was really critical, but I'm not aware of anything. So I don't really even have to do that cursory review, although it does kind of bother me that I haven't done it yet. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it here on camera. All right. Okay. Does all that make sense? So let's go to my lock screen. So I've got that thing I just sent myself, which doesn't matter. In fact, I'm going to get it out of my way because, wait a minute. This one's kind of important. This is that one that I said, keep fans up to date with where I am. So if I play guitar somewhere today, I need to tell them, and I need them to know, just like I need to probably schedule these things, which I didn't do. I don't know. If I do schedule them, it's going to be like, I don't know. These things have to be last minute because it's just, they've got to be spontaneous. They're not going to work any other way. So I don't know if this is even the venue to do these things. There's another technique I'm using that I'm not even going to go into. But this keeping my fans up to date, like one of the things I'm kind of thinking about right now is playing guitar today, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Friday, but even if I'm playing somewhere at lunch, nobody's going to be able to like drop everything and come watch me play. So I definitely need to look. Let me look at this list that I made, because I made a list of activities. There are several places that I can play. And some of them are like kind of permanent places, and other things are a little bit different. I even have this other place that I didn't even think of. So this is good. I took a picture of this and it's in my phone, but I didn't put it as a to-do. But I think that's okay. Maybe I can put this over on top of this other venue thing, because there's these kind of venues that I want to do, and then sometimes there's project managers of like festival type stuff, and then there's the festivals that are actually going on this weekend. But even on this list of the festivals that I have this weekend, I have these sort of permanent places that I can play, especially if I want to do something at lunch. And even this coffee shop that I play at, I really need to be handing out these cards like everywhere. It's like, hey, take a card. If it's not a crazy person, I've talked to a lot of fucking crazy people, and that's almost why I don't go to certain areas of town, because of crazy people. All right. But this keeping fans up to date and like the way it connects with all of this, it's kind of important. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got 10 minutes. So now it's 8:50. It's 10 minutes before the end of the hour. Now, let me do something real quick. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain it as I do it. First thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to open this text. I'm going to long press it, and I'm going to say copy. Then what I'm going to do is go back to my home screen. I'm going to long press the Gmail icon to compose a new message. And there's so many things I want to tell you guys as to why that's really a great idea. But anyway, so now I'm going to just create an email. And so now this keeping my fans up to date is now in my inbox. Now I could do that because I know that I'm going to be doing a review for the must do things for today only. That's the only thing I'm going to be looking at my inbox for. And unless I get into this kind of meditative thing where I'm just wanting to pick off things around the house and stuff like that. But I'm wanting to indulge a little bit with talking to you and also doing guitar stuff and stuff like that, right? Like not thinking so much about everything. Okay, so I just did that. Now I want to go back now because we're on the lock screen. That's my focus. I'm reviewing the lock screen now. I got 9 minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these 4 things. There's only 4 things. It's not a big deal. So this is what I need to do. Are any of these 4 things going into the next hour? And I would say yes. Now let's look at taking the trash out. Taking the trash out is something I need to do. And so what I'm going to do is I can tap on any of these. It's going to bring me into the calendar. This is really weird. And it got rid of. So here's a warning. Okay. If you tap on notification to go into the calendar, it's going to mess up your notification. So I don't know if I can even, it's just a little dangerous. Okay. If you're going to open up the calendar. So let's not even go there. So in my calendar, I've got 4 things and I lost one of them, the taking the trash out. So I tapped on taking the trash out. That's all I did. And then it brought up the calendar, but it didn't even bring up that calendar event, but it killed it from the notification screen. So just know, okay, this is all I can say is all bets are off. If you kind of go into the, I don't know exactly, but definitely don't tap on something that you really want to keep on the calendar. Okay, let's go in the calendar. It may be a best practice just not to do that. Okay, so I got 4 things for 8 a.m. So now I'm in the calendar looking at these. To take the trash out, I have this reminder to go slow. Was that on here? Yeah. I've got this reminder to go slow. This is me just indulging and like basking in the agency that I have, the carte blanche that I have, the fact that I'm not at work right now. So I need to not get too greedy with trying to get things done, but also not squander it too badly with just fucking off all day, right? So that's this go slow, this point B. It's like a mindful, just be mindful is basically what it is. Then I have drink water, which I have my water right here. And then I've got get cash if I go out. So I just want to have cash. I've gotten screwed with cash. There's just a reason why I want to be spending cash instead of using my credit card. I'm sick of a lot of shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag all 4 of these because it's 8:54. I'm going to drink my water and stuff like that. We'll go there in a second. Let me just drag these down. And the reason I'm worried about this right now is that I just don't want to lose, like I don't want to have to fiddle with the notifications. So now these are all, I just kind of moved them down to the 9 o'clock hour. And is that a bad thing? Like, should I have done these things? Well, again, where normally I'd be working, so it doesn't matter. I've been talking to you and I've been taking notes, and I've also been remembering things for me and making venue lists and stuff. So, and developing new criteria for how to do what I'm about to do, which is in earnest, do a cursory review of all of the kind of opportunities I have for today that are in my inbox and Gmail. Now, while we're here, and I'm going to make a new event, but it's going to be for 8 o'clock. And I've been doing this for 57 minutes. So basically for this entire hour at 8 o'clock, I've been doing this stream. So I'm going to put YouTube live stream. Now I have a record of what it is that I'm doing today. So in the 7 o'clock hour, the main thing was like ordering those business cards. Before then, it was this suggestion to go out, but whatever, it doesn't matter because whatever. Now I'm doing this stream. Now in the next hour, I've got these 4 things that are going to pop back up again. None of them are critical. I do need to drink my water, and I'm going to show you a little trick about that. But also what's cool with the water, I've got to look, when do I have this drinking water? Okay, here's another technique that might be useful. So I have a repeating calendar event called Drink Water, and it's at 8 a.m. Now, the reason it's at 8 a.m. is because that's when I need to remember that I need to drink water. But I don't need to drop everything and, oh my God, I need to drink water right now. But it's at 8 a.m., especially with another modification I've made with how I drink coffee in the morning and stuff like that. It's pretty out there. But anyway, by and large, it's possible that I might be done with my coffee by 8 a.m. I probably don't need to worry about drinking water any earlier than 8 a.m. And the fact that I'm doing it now, and I'm almost really done with it. So, but it doesn't really matter because as long as I do it kind of before breakfast and have a little bit of ability to absorb the water. So to me, it's like sometime between 9 and 10, or by like 10 o'clock, I really want to have drink water. The point is that I've got it on my calendar for every day at 8 o'clock. But remember, this is a reminder to me that I want to drink water, an extra glass of water to what I would normally be doing just with my meals. And then, of course, I drink supplement water when I go to the gym. I also bring water with me. Water is just like it's just like a survival thing. So I've got a water bottle that I take with me if I go to any festivals or perform or anything like that. But I want this sort of extra cup of water in the morning. It's just, I've realized that it keeps my energy up. Okay. So let's go back to today. So 8:58 right now. I'm doing well with the water. If I look at taking the trash out, that's not a big deal. I know I need to do it, and I didn't want to do it until 8 o'clock because it's quiet hours in the townhome complex that I'm in. So I just didn't want to go out and wake people up, like throwing the trash. It doesn't even matter because I'm not even going to eat breakfast until 10, right? So again, it's how early can I take the trash out? I just want to remember that I can. And so a lot of what's behind the way that I communicate with myself is what can I do? And I don't want anything in my brain or to be presented to me that I cannot actually do. Because for me personally, and I wouldn't be surprised if others were like this as well, it can be very demotivating to have something in your way or a to-do list full of things that you can't even act on. And so now you're having to do this process of which of these fucking things can I even do? Oh, there's 5 of these. Wait a minute. Is it my... Wait a minute. No, I think that... Hang on. I got a reminder of my dad's birthday, but it's not today. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying was the spirit and like the idea that I'm really starting to concentrate on is giving myself information that I can at least act on, but with the understanding that I'm still the executive. I still make the decisions. I still have agency in the moment, and I have additional clarity in the moment with where I am. Like, I'm enjoying this. I'm getting things done with you. I'm drinking my water. This works for me. And then when I'm kind of done with this, I'll move on to whatever it is that these things are telling me to do. But I also need to go review these tasks anyway. And if I do it with you, then it will begin to introduce you to some of these ideas as well. So I know, so here's another thing I should probably do. Let me show you something, because there's a problem with having things in my Gmail that I haven't done a cursory housekeeping of or a cursory review. So this is what I'm going to do. Create cursory.
What date and time is your appointment?
2 minutes from now.
I can create your appointment, but you already have 5 appointments. Okay, I won't create the event.
It wasn't asking me. So let's try this again. Create cursory Gmail inbox review event for 2 minutes from now.
I can create your event, but you already have 5 events that overlap with this. Should I schedule it anyway?
Yeah.
Your event is scheduled from now to 10:04 a.m.
So what I just did was link the Gmail review to my calendar or to my lock screen. So now if I go back to my, in 2 minutes, I always say in 2 minutes, because if you say in 1 minute, and it may not show up on your lock screen, because it could be like, 3 seconds before 11 o'clock or something. And by the time that you get through the request with Siri, it could be already past time. So you've got to make sure that the thing is in your calendar before the time that it's scheduled for occurs, for it to be presented to as a notification on your lock screen. So I always just say 2 minutes from now. And 2 minutes from now is 9:04. So in like around a minute, at 9:04, that's going to be placed in my lock screen. And then while I'm not fully comfortable with the fact, there it is, that's the noise. I can't see it because it's still showing me what I consider to be a breadcrumb. It's still showing me that little result calendar entry that it created for me. And that's fine. I like that because it's a layer, it's on top. So if I just tap my screen anywhere, now I see that a cursory Gmail inbox review is on my lock screen, and it happens to be at the top because it's the most recent that came in. But I got my dad's birthday is coming up. It's not today, but it's at the very top. Probably because it's because it's an all day event. That's the way that it does things, right? Okay, so let's now, here's what I love. I love this. Call me a nerd, whatever. Call me a nerd or whatever. But I love having this context now. Like I can see there are six items on my phone's lock screen. There is nothing else in the world that I need to be concerned with. Now, if I do take a moment to do, if I want to, which I kind of want to develop a new habit of, in a very kind of broad way, be aware of kind of time. By the way, I can do the same thing with the calendar in terms of like the middle of the month, the first part of the month, and the latter part of the month. And if I wanted to do it, I could say the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, right? Just because it might be a little more practical to do that. And just knowing that like the 15th is roughly the middle of any given month. And okay, that's fine. I like the idea of the middle of the month. I don't know why. And of course, the first week of the month, that's a little dodgy because is the first week the 1st through the 7th, or is it like the first week starting with the, how do I explain this? The first like week, like Sunday to Saturday. Is that the first week? Or is it literally like the first of the month? And so it's the 1st through the 2nd, 7th, 8th through whatever it is, like that. I don't know. I haven't thought about the month very much, but I have I'm trying to train myself to look at the calendar. So on my phone's home screen, I have the smaller calendar thing that just has like all, in this case, July, all the 31 days with a little red thing. And I can see that it's the 19th. I can also see that it's the 19th on my lock screen. I can also see it's the 19th because I also have the calendar on that little persistent app icon thingy on the home screen stays there, right? So I can see it's the 19th, and it's the 19th, and I can see it's the 19th on the lock screen. So on the lock screen, there's a big time at the top. Big time, 9:08. Okay. So I'm just kind of looking, hey, the 19th, July 19th. Okay. And if I want to do a context thing in my head, it's like, what does the July 19th mean? It means that my dad's birthday is like in July. And it's like, oh, okay, that's the next thing, my dad's birthday. So then we're going to deal with that. Okay. Now, what I want to do is a 2-step, 2-pass review. And I've never done this before, but since I know that I haven't done a cursory Gmail inbox, which is part of this, but I also haven't looked at these things to see, wait a minute, which of these things I need to do? I'm already drinking water. I'm almost done. Let me just go ahead and finish that off. Literally finish this, and then I can get rid of that reminder. So this is giant, by the way. This is like for scale. Like it still doesn't do it justice. I have all my friends and family like make fun of these ginormous cups. Okay, so now what I can do is I can swipe the drink water. Now I'm down to 5 things. Now here's the cool thing about the drink water is that I did drink my water and I drank it within this hour. So I have a record like, hey, I did it. Okay, and I'm always going to do it. I'm just really not going to ever sacrifice drinking water. Water to me, this extra water is just like meditation going to the gym. You know, so if I think about really all I need to do is go to the gym and meditate. Those are the 2 things I'm not doing without. Probably the water would be a close third. It gave me an idea because this lady in I believe it had to be like the Reddit ADHD forums. She was talking about 2 things that are really cool. I think it's the same lady actually. Really cool. So she was talking about rotating the things that she drops, right? So whatever it is, she just can't, she knows that she can't get everything done around the house. But she sort of like is fair. She kind of distributes the things, she rotates the thing that she drops. So let's say maybe the bathrooms they're just going to be a little dirtier this week, you know, but I'll give them some love next week. But maybe I'm going to make sure the kitchen and maybe the floor, you know, it's that kind of thing. So it's very, very, I love that idea. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I'm happy to talk about any of these things as I go through, but I love that idea. But the other thing that she said was that there's only 2 things that she really needs to happen every day. She wants to eat clean and she wants to exercise. And because those 2 things make her feel good and they're good for her. So those are like, so eating clean and exercising is better or more important than having, you know, spotless everything and having some ego trip and comparing yourself to other people. And I'm the same. I like to eat clean too, although I do. I want the vast majority of my, like 9 out of 10 of my meals, I really would like to be eating clean at home. I pretty much make that, but I allow myself to go kind of have a little bit of a break. So I don't eat clean every day, every meal. But my big 2 things are going to the gym and meditation. Those are just non-negotiables every single day unless I'm in the hospital or something. And then this water would actually be a close or now I'd say it would be almost a distant third, but it's pretty important. Food in the bowl, water in the bucket, if you're familiar with Buddhism. So then you got water, right? And then you can get into like, okay, clean eating, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to do a 2-step. And this is where I got with this, made me think about this lady because of these 2 things, right? Now, if I think about going to the gym, and meditation, that's really almost all I'm going to do today. Like meditation for me this week and the next week, it is going to be sort of like that focus, but at the same time, it's not really a focus. I want it to be sort of a default. I want it to be like, hey, I'm feeling good. And if I'm kind of if I start getting to the point where I'm looking for something to do, let now meditate, right? So it's not that clear. It's not that clean. That's kind of what I want to be doing. I want to be in the moment, and I want to be able to meditate. I need to eat. I need to go to the gym. I need to meditate. Those things are in the evening. Most of what's going on in my life while I have these days off is going to be really more during the workday kind of thing, because I don't have any plans tonight. And for me, I don't care that it's Friday night. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to meditate. If there's something in particular, like I have this list of things, but I don't think any of these things are for Friday. In fact, you know what? Why don't we check something? And I can bring this up. I'm going to bring up two sites that are, you can't see these, but it doesn't matter. And what I want to do is this one. Is this the one for? Yep, this is the one I want. We need to make this bigger so I can see it. What I'm looking at here, and it doesn't matter for you, I want to look at today's Friday, and I just want to look at what's going on to make sure there isn't anything tonight. Because if there's something that I want to do tonight, and I should also look at this list too, because I don't think I'm going to go to any of these venues tonight. Something for today that would be awesome is to go to some of these venues and see if I can hand out my business cards. Okay, so I'm juggling some things in my head, but it's like I need to go pick up my business cards, and I want to go pick up my business cards. Why not? Okay, and again, this is me kind of where's the groove that I'm going to get. But if I'm going to go get my business cards, and let's say they're actually ready at noon and not before noon, okay, because they said that they were going to be due at noon. So I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of around lunchtime. I'm kind of excited to go get them and to have them in my grasp. And then I eat lunch usually more around 1 o'clock, than 12. So it's like, well, why don't I go there? Then I can think about maybe visiting some of these venues. And then I can either eat there, which would get me into good graces with these places, right? It's like, I'm having lunch, and then I can say, hey, is there blah, blah, blah. Or I can just walk right in there and say, hey, I'm an amazing musician. Here's my card. I was wondering if I could rent your stage or have some time on your stage, because I just want to film something, and they might let me do it right there. And I would totally go for that. All right. Why am I telling you all this? Because so that would be good for today, but for tonight, there might be something else going on, and maybe that would be something I'd prefer to do. And then if I'm going to do something tonight, by the way, it's Friday. I normally don't, and I'm on vacation. So the meditation is non-negotiable, but the gym, as long as I'm hitting the gym like 5 out of 7 days, and there's something really like I really want to do, I'm okay with not going to the gym, but I don't have to skip the gym. I can just do the gym earlier. I can meditate at any time. So I'm just not worried about meditation. And it's non-negotiable meditation. It's really just so important to do that every day. The gym, a little bit different. I just don't want to be squandering and being stupid and going, like, especially drinking or anything like that, unless it's really worth it. So let's look. I'm not going to read all these. I'm just going to look. I want to make a note of this other venue that is friendly to me. And then there's another one that's a little bit different that I'm going to put on my list, which is to see if I can play legit. Just another kind of thing. Okay. All right. So if this, I was reminded about that one venue, and it's a pretty cool little thing. It's like they don't want you to play near like where the vendor area is, but there's this like pavilion place. It's got kind of astroturf and it's got a stage, and I don't think they would have a problem with me just playing on the stage. I know they will allow me to play in that area. I just don't think they would care if I played on the stage because I'm good, like really good. So, and I'm very unique. You know, my stuff, you will not hear my stuff anywhere else. Okay. And it's also really good for live. Okay. Anyway, so that just gave me another idea. And now I've got these two lists and I'm working all this stuff. This is very, very working for me. So let me look at the rest of this one. And I got this other list. It's so funny how different this list looks to me after really doing like everything. Last year, I went to all the events last year, and like now I'm really, really selective. Okay, so tonight there's not much. I do have the list of stuff going on tomorrow, and even some of the times. I think, yeah. But then there's some things I can always do tonight and even today. So anyway, I've got that idea. Oh, let me look at this one other list here. Let me check on you guys, see if there's anybody. Okay. Then I got this other list, and I just don't think there's anything. Today at 10 a.m.? That's interesting. Today at 10 a.m., there's actually something going on in the middle of the day at this river stage thing. Okay, I've got that written down already. Anyway, that's another idea. No. It's so funny, all these things I just don't even care about. Nah. What if I did this one area? I've never tried. Just around, and I'm going to put a little box around this. Okay, I just got another idea. And there is something happening tonight in this area. So there is something going on in this area. And there's some of these other little places in this area of town that I like that's just not as, it's an area of town that, yeah. I love this idea. I'm going to put this on my other list. I've got this list needs to be consolidated, but there is this area of town that has like bars on every corner, but it's totally residential, so that's a little bit of a tricky part too. So I've got to be careful about being too loud, especially if there's not like a festival happening, because there's festivals that happen in this area of town that are very fun. But the last one I went to wasn't that much of a vibe. I don't know. I just have to figure it out. Have to figure that out. Okay, what else? I don't think there's really anything else. I don't really care. Okay, so tonight, not a whole lot. Some things tomorrow. I got that list down. The reason I'm doing this is that it's all relevant for kind of what I want to do. So let's go back over here. I don't remember. So now I want to do this cursory review. And there's two ways to do a cursory review. I can look really quickly for things that are today and just ignore the things that don't need to be done today. But sometimes I can even look at things to say, hey, what's in the next hour? So that I can just feel good about even just making it to the next hour. And then within the next hour, I can look at, things that are for today. Okay. Now, sometimes I don't have to do that, because if there's nothing that even needs to be done today, then I don't even need to do that. So let me start with which of these things that are on my locks. And here's another thing with the hour, right? Because the things on my lock screen are for this hour, whereas the things in Gmail are for theoretically like things I can and may want to do today, right? What I do need to take a break real quick. Don't go anywhere. Let me play some music. I'm gonna play some music. This is fine. I'm gonna play that, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. I hope I didn't get in trouble with that. I probably shouldn't have played that music. I don't know. I just had an idea that I wanted to capture. agency demands balance, but also the universe will reshape itself around your decisions. That's all I need to do with that. I'm just capturing it, and since I haven't performed this cursory review that I'm about to perform, it doesn't matter, right? So I can still throw stuff in to the what do you call it? The bucket, into the agenda, into the hat. I can still throw things into the hat because I haven't reviewed even the cursory review of my Gmail inbox. Okay, so let's go. I want to turn off VLC. Okay, so I've got some text messages from a friend. Get those out of the way. Still have my dad's birthday. I hope that stays. I think it will stay in my notification center, but if I was worried about it, there's a couple of things I could do. In fact, as a safety net, I could just send myself a Gmail or an email, or I could text myself again, right? It's definitely not for today. I could always take it from the text and into Gmail. So I'm going to err on that side just because it's so fast. Text Meeboo, plan what to do for Dad's birthday.
Send it.
Yes.
Done.
That just allows me to get right back to what I'm doing. Okay. And then it's actually popping up here at the top, but I don't need it there because I'll have the blue dot. I'll have the badge count. It'll be at the top of my conversation list. Totally fine. Very much in an intersection, and we'll talk about intersections later. Okay. Now, because I just did that, should I just go ahead and get rid of my dad's birthday thing? Yeah. So I just got it. I'm getting it out of my way because I've put it into another funnel, right? Put it into another channel of communication to my future self, right? Which is what this is all about. All right. So now I've got my cursory Gmail inbox review that I want to do. I just call it cursory review, but it's basically looking like, hey, what are the things that I really like give a shit about right now or whatever. Then I've got get cash. If I go out, oh, by the way, we're now at the bottom of the hour, right? So we've been talking for about 90 minutes. And so now we're in that definition of the middle part. We're real close to right at the bottom of the hour, but it doesn't really matter. We're in that kind of like second half, the bottom part of the hours. Entered the second half of the hour. We're at the bottom, that middle part of the hour, right? And so what does that mean for where we are? Well, I've been talking a lot. I've been doing this for a long time, which is fine because I'm like solving shit. I've got papers and notes and stuff here, and it's got like some really cool ideas about kind of what is activating me, what I'm interested in, what I want to do. And this whole, I'm even having more strategy ideas that you just saw me capture. So we've got the cursory Gmail inbox review, which we're going to do live right now. Then we have get cash if I go out. Now, let's look at all four of them. Then we got taking the trash out. And then we have this go slow idea. And this is just basically being mindful. It's just I use different keywords. I rotate between different keywords. But the go slow I just love. Because it's like, I just need to breathe. I'm doing this, and this is all I'm doing. And I'm on vacation. So I've got carte blanche, like all of that kind of stuff. All right. Now, let me just, since there's only four of these, and one of them is just a link over to Gmail, let me just look at these things and say, look, am I going to do these or not? Now, remember, this is all, if I was not talking to you, I would have been done with all these things, doing them, completing them. I wouldn't even have a list of things to do if I wasn't burning time with you guys, right? Okay. So, I got to get cash. If I go out, I want to get cash. Well, guess what? I'm going out. I'm definitely going out because I'm going out to get the business cards and I might go to these venues, right? So that's perfect. And the reason that this is showing up in the 9 o'clock hour is because I just didn't know when I was going to know whether and when I was going to go out. So I could just keep what I call punting this. I can just keep punting this to the next hour, like what I'm doing with the go slow thing. And so it's perfect now because I'm probably not going to go anywhere at 10. I have breakfast here at 10. There's no reason for me to go out to breakfast or do anything at 10. So I'm good there. Am I going to go out at 11? I don't think so. Now, one thing I can check, just because I could check my email, and I do have 2 emails. One of them may be from FedEx. Here is my order confirmation for that business card print job. It's weird that they don't tell me that it's ready, but I'm assuming they're going to tell me that it's ready. Okay, so I'm just going to ignore that. I'm going to go ahead and mark this other thing as read, just so for reasons, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's fine. I'm assuming I'm going to get an email that says it's actually ready to be picked up. Okay, and I was just curious about that. Let's go back to now. I don't think I would need or want to go out early, even if that's ready and I'm excited about it, whatever. But going over there at 12, like I said, I don't know though. Because going to these places at lunch might produce an audience for me. So there's just one place that's real close to me that keeps popping in my head. It's real close by, but it's got like a vibe. You know, it's not like a bunch of Karens or anything like that. It's like weird people, you know, like me. And it really just has a vibe. It's a total dive. It's just got the vibe that I want. I've already talked to them about playing there, and they never contacted me. Who knows? But I think that might be nice. And if this is ready at 11 o'clock, then I can do like the whole 11 o'clock, go pick this up and then go to lunch, but it'll still be too early for lunch. I'm overthinking it, but I'm going to punt this until 11 just because I'm not really sure in my head, but I know I don't want to know about it. I don't need to know about this in this hour or in the next hour. So let's punt this to 11. And this is very easy to do. I can tap on it. I know I told you this is dangerous, but I'm actually changing the time of this. So I'm going to tap on it just to open it up, and then I'm going to drag it down. And this is getting cash. Just going to drag it down to 11 o'clock because, we're still in that bottom part of the hour, but in 4 minutes, we're going to be entering the latter part of the hour. And then it's going to be time for breakfast. Okay. But as far as me taking care of myself, I'm caffeinated. I've got my water. When I have breakfast, I'll be re-energized. That'll get me prepared through lunch. Then I can go get these cards, and think about all that in a minute. Okay, let's go back. So now that is gone, and now I'm down to 2 things. And I've got taking the trash out, which would be perfect just while I'm in the kitchen. I just don't care about doing that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just punt that one as well. And I could do this. I can just stay in the calendar to see what I've got, but I want to get in the habit of operating off my lock screen. And the next one is this go slow, right? And it's a reminder of me right now to go slow, and I can just leave it on here, but I don't want to be desensitized to it. So it's like, okay. And this other, this idea of mindfulness, it's context, where am I? What kind of time is it? So let's do this. I want to do this. I'm going to open this up and I want to edit it. And open quote, context, close quote, including part of the hour. Okay, so that updated this, and it's going to kill it though. It's going to kill my notification because I edited it. That's just the way it does it. So I'm going to drag this down to 10 o'clock. And I don't know, did I put this in my calendar as a, let's see, where is, I think I need to modify, this came from Gmail. This like little strategy thing came from Gmail. And I just kind of copied and pasted it in here. But I think I want to make it like a permanent thing. So let's see. I want to copy and paste the text. And I might need to do that back over in here it is. So this is snooze till tomorrow. I put a star on it because it was here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into it, take the star off, and I'm going to reply to it. And I'm going to replace the text and then paste. Okay. Now I'm going to delete this original one. And I should have a new one in there. I got a new one in there now, and we'll deal with it because, again, we're still throwing stuff in the hat, haven't reviewed it yet. Okay, so now I've got no older notifications. Why is that? What happened to my context? What happened to my cursory Gmail inbox review? Did I tap on that? Did I want to change that? Oh, I know what it is. So this is the kind of stuff I want to think about because it bothers me when stuff disappears. But remember, I created that by saying create an event for 2 minutes from now. And then when I went into the calendar, it was a little bit off kilter and it causes other things to shift because it goes into the next hour. So I just kind of cleaned it up and moved it up, and I killed it by moving it because I moved it. You can't change something, and especially changing the time and having it be a time that occurred in the past. So I killed it doing that. Fortunately, we can go do my inbox review right now. And I know I don't like this being in the way, but I also don't like having that on that side. I didn't realize this, but I'm kind of like right-handed when it comes to my phone. Okay, so my phone has a lot of things in my inbox, and there's a way for me to go through it in order so that I'm not overwhelmed with just pages and pages of stuff. And I'm kind of allowing for this. I've gone through a lot of cycles with trying to keep my inbox tight and clean and simple, and then overly categorizing things and stuff like that. But here's my process. The first thing I want to do is I can go straight into the starred view. And that's not going to work this time. So what I want to do is I want to go into the category primary, but I want it to be is starred, which means I need to make another one of these. I may start to have too many of these. Is that right? There's 3 in the inbox. Hang on, let me just test this. Wait a minute. Oh, no, that is right. So there's 3 of these that are in the, this is perfect. Okay, hang on. I want to just go back into, I like to stay on primary and then come out of primary and then search from there. There's the reason for that. And this is kind of cool if you recognize these layers and like these breadcrumbs where you can back out of stuff. But I'm in the primary that has all this noise, but then I want to search. And the search is independent of that primary view. I'm not searching just that primary view. I'm searching all of Gmail. But here's the cool thing. When I get through these, I'm going to return back to that primary box, and that is what I want. And so it's just a cool little layer where it adds the search on top of where the view is. And when I get through these items, I'll come back here, which is where I want to be, and then I'll take the next step. So I've got some of these things. I ran the dishwasher. Okay, so I completed 2 of these things. It doesn't matter what they are. I completed them. There's another one that is something that I do want to monitor. It's a medical thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over to the calendar and I'm going to paste it in, and let's just paste it in at 10 o'clock. Yeah, let's just do 10 o'clock. It does have to happen after one of these things, but again, this is not about the order and how I do things. This is just, hey, this is what's going on. This is what you want to remember. This is what you want to remember. This is what you want to remember. And then when I don't want to remember something anymore for whatever reason, I just get it out of my way. I wipe my memory or I shift it into the future. And that's what that's what all of this is about. This is about remembering things. There's a lot of things, and I use labels and stuff for it. But I have realized that I am a good conductor. I can conduct and make decisions about things, especially if I'm being mindful and keeping my life simple and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so back to Gmail, because now I've added that item, and because I've added that item, I can now snooze this. I'm going to keep the star on it and snooze it because I haven't committed to it being like a routine thing. So I'll just see this again tomorrow as a safety net if I didn't do this today. And I'm just using that mechanism, which is no problem. Okay, so now I've done that. So now I can go back, and that's going to put me back into the primary, the inbox, but there's still a lot of stuff in here. So now what I want to do is I want to look at the primary, but the unread items, because the unread items are like actionable stuff. Okay, they're not necessarily more important than anything else, but there's things I have with labels that are read, R-E-A-D, and just kind of by definition, those are not things that are actionable. And if they are, then I really need to make them unread. So unread is kind of like at least things that need to be done or remembered actively. But I'm keeping information in here, like there's strategies I want to review, but we'll get to those next. So let's look at these and do a very, very quick cursory review of these. I'm not even going to read all of them. Okay. Now there's this one that I just, okay, so I've got a strategy. And we're talking about the context part of the hour. So this is the thing I added to, let me make sure I've got this. Yes. So I've got this strategy. Go back to Gmail. I've got this strategy, but it's like one of these things that I want to be punting throughout the day. I want to be really thinking about being in the moment, and then also this idea of this context and the part of the hour. Like I know it's 9:48, so we're now in the latter third or latter part of the hour, that final 20 minutes of the hour. And it's like, okay. Now, if I look at my lock screen, I also know that it's okay from my lock screen perspective because I've already made the decisions around the things that I'm punting till the next hour. So I'm not going to miss anything. And I can even probably go, if I really want to be comfortable, I can go back and look at any time I look at my calendar and say, look, I drank water and I'm doing the cursory Gmail inbox review right now. Okay. Let's go back there. So this item I just opened up. I had to open it because I can't read it. It's too long to be read. But so now I opened it up. And so now what am I going to do with this? Well, today I decided I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to be very aggressive about this, you know, going slow, being in the moment, being at point B, not between points A and B. I'm actually between points A and C. And that's a whole thing. But basically, it's a reminder about being mindful, but also like starting to pay attention a little bit to this idea of where I am in time and just see how that wires my brain a little bit, you know. So this is now on my calendar. So my normal process for this would be to put a star on it and just punt it till tomorrow. And I think that is the way to do it. It is a strategy. So it's a little bit different, but I'm not going to put it as a strategy because I have a kind of I'm not treating this like a strategy. I'm treating this more like a to-do. Okay, because it's a little bit elevated. Now, when I go through my strategies in a minute, I'll show you what that means. And maybe I can get through this in the, wait a minute. I'm just doing the cursory. I'm not even going to look at the strategies. I'll look at the strategies when I feel like it. But let me star this, and I'm just going to treat it like anything else. Now, I see, I'm not even going to process any of these unless I have to open them up. But there's this new strategy, again, this agency, demands, balance, blah, blah. I've got this keeping the fans up to date about where I'm playing. And this is an actual to-do. And because it's Friday, because I may be playing tonight, definitely have some ideas for tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on. I just haven't decided like where I'm going to be performing. But what I do want to do is I want to keep my fans up to date about where I am performing. But I just haven't made that decision yet. And like I said, I'm going to be looking at these venues today. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but what I need to remember is I need to remember that I need to keep my fans up to date. And I know how to do that because I'm going to do it through, all I have right now is Instagram to do it. That's like where that's where I market myself. And so what do I do with this? Like, I think what I'd like to do, excuse me, what feels right is when do I need to know this again? Because I can't do anything with this. This is something I need to remember, but like right now, I don't like, there's nothing I can do with this. So I need to get it out of my way. Okay. So this is considered, this is a must do critical urgent item for today because I need my fans to know where I'm playing. So when I make that decision, then it needs to go into here. But I'm not making that decision now. I don't know exactly when I'm going to make that decision. but it's important enough to spend like 5 seconds thinking about it. I think the way to do this is I'm going to punt this to noon, because that's when I'm thinking about getting my business cards, going to these venues, and maybe that'll give me a little bit of context. But I do need to review. I've got 2 pages of notes about places I want to go, and I do kind of need to make some decisions. Although, let me look at the weather. Let me check the weather. Today, good weather, sunny, high of 83. Let me confirm, because I don't know if that's now. Okay, so today's partly cloudy, high of 83, no rain. Let me look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's not bad, 86, not horrible. Sunday, again, a high of 86, not bad. So pretty decent weekend. It's not really even hot enough for me to take into consideration like playing in a cooler part of the day or in the evening or anything like that. I could totally play at whatever time is whatever's going on that I'm interested in playing. So I feel like I'm probably not going to want to play anything today unless something happens with one of these venues. But again, that's going to be too late, right? So can I look at these, and am I in any kind of hurry? Yeah, because I'm trying to do a cursory review of these. So why don't I do this? Let's go back here. Let's do this. Let's watch this very close. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this on my calendar, and then I'll just punt it throughout the day because I just don't know. But I know I'm not going to do it now. So let's go over to the calendar, and let's throw this. I could throw it on the 10 o'clock hour, but I'm not going to do it then. But 11 o'clock, let's just do it there, and then we'll punt it again because I just know I don't want to do it in the next hour. I don't have to do it in the next hour. So let's just throw it on 11 o'clock. Okay. And so now that it's on the calendar, guess what I can do? Now I can go ahead right now and just deal with this. So I'm going to put a star on it, snooze it till tomorrow. Why can I do that? Because it's on my calendar now. So anything that goes on my calendar is now automatically get it out of my way. Keep the star on it though, because it does distinguish things that I need to make sure that I did as a safety net. All right, now we go fast. So stuff around the house. Oh, there's not that many things in here. Here's the rent stage, and put my tripod. Yeah. So here's this thing about renting a stage, and that's actually what I'm going to be doing right now. So I might as well use this, and it's something that will be ongoing. So let's go back to the calendar, and I talked about getting cash, keeping my fans up to date, and then I have this. I've got the noon for that business card, but I'm going to put this at 11 just because. And you know what? Let me go ahead and I'm going to move this FedEx thing up because I don't get notifications of when I have new Yahoo email stuff because it's a trash email. So I will not see that my stuff is ready. So I want to check on it. So this is perfect. So at 11 is all about, 11 o'clock is all about this, going to these vendors, getting the business cards, going to these venues, getting lunch. Perfect, right? And then from the Gmail side of things, it's on the calendar, so it gets a star and it gets snoozed until tomorrow. Okay? Anything else? There's something about bills and there is one thing. This is an important thing because it's related. It's just some stuff. This is perfect. God, I love this because it has to do with playing guitar. It's just like a maintenance thing that I've got to do. And I love it because that's here. Then it goes here. Snooze it tomorrow. And then we have stuff. So then what we're left with is like a new strategy that I don't care. I'm going to probably convert it into a normal strategy. I review my strategies, and I can do that more like if I want to. Then I've got like a billing thing that I don't even know if I want to do. And then I've got two things, just like housework things, but I actually need things to do around the house. I'm absolutely just totally not. Now, the fact that I'm not going to do these things, I'm going to go ahead and snooze them all in mass. So I'll select one. Oops. Hang on, I need to refresh because I wonder how that works. No, so I have to refresh the view. It's just a little thing. Okay, now I've got all four. Select all. There's four things selected, so I'm immediately just going to snooze these items for tomorrow. Now, why would I do that? The reason I'm going to do it is because it's not a focus. Hang on a second. It may be something that would be nice to do, like pick off some of these things, because what am I going to be doing this afternoon? Hang on. Let me go back. Let me go back into the primary. I'm going to leave these in here because, like, mission accomplished. But I'm not getting these out of my way because I may want to do some of these. So here's what the Gmail inbox is about. It's about serving up things and having things that I can do that are actionable immediately. And if they're not actionable now, then they probably need to sort of get out of my way. It's 10 o'clock. So now we're going into the breakfast time. And this is a great time of day. I love just spending time having breakfast. I'm going to watch television and just fuel up and just relax and then get right back to this stuff. And then, which means today it's going to mean seeing about those business cards, going to this one venue, maybe all the venues. So that's another thing I could do. I could just do venues all day today, because here's the thing. I've looked at these things and I have decided that there is nothing that I need to do. I've got carte blanche all day. And if I even want to think about it until 4 p.m., that's fine. Let me just drive around the city going all these venues and seeing which ones are open. I know the one that I'm interested in is open for lunch. I know there's another one that's in my neighborhood. Let me just go to some of these and just see, like, hey, here's my card. I've got my equipment. You want to hear a song? Check out my Instagram. But by the way, I want to use your stage. And that's my thing. But I just don't care about these things. I'm not looking for these things. It's not my plan for the day to do these things. Now, I do want to meditate. I don't want to forget that. But again, I've got that covered tonight, and it's always my fallback. And so meditate and doing this work is like the state that I want to be in today. So this housework stuff is almost there, like, for me when I want to pull it. It doesn't need to push me, but I do want to know that it's there, and there's some things I can do. Although, wait a minute, one of these things is a strategy. I'm definitely punting that because it's a strategy. It's not an actionable thing. So if I come back here, I look at primary is unread. There's 3 things. And, one of these things I'm just not going to do. But I need to be, it is something I can do, especially today. So I'm going to leave it there. Probably not going to do it. When I get there, I'll be honest with myself and say, like, just get this out of the way. But for right now, I've got 3 things. I got 3 things to do, and that's fine. Now, going back into my primary, now I can say, look at the primary and look at the things that are red. just to see them. And then I immediately see a bunch of tags. So I love this because I can see that there are things I'm waiting for from other people. It's just by definition, that's not going to be critical. The fact that they are red, R-E-A-D, is just by definition not critical. But I've got my strategy stuff in here. Now, what is this? Oh, here's my receipt. This is my FedEx receipt that I sent to myself. I think that's fine. I think I'll just leave that in the inbox because it's a reference thing. It's not something I have to do because I've got it on the calendar. So I can now say, look, this is a reference thing. So I want it here because they're probably actually, to be honest, since I'm waiting for them, I'm going to leave it in here. Okay. So I see that. It's from today because I can see it at the top. It's 7:55. I totally know it has to do with FedEx. Great, leave it here. This is part of today. Then I start getting, I've got all these strategies. I can see them all labeled as strategies. I've got these things I'm waiting for, but I also have these things I'm waiting for that have that in common, but also have their one thing. And so I've got this purple Q, which is really just saying that these items are all the same like task or they're all related. So it's not this huge bundle of mess of things I need to do. So I am totally done. To be honest, this wasn't even a cursory review. It's a full review. So totally done with that. Now I'm going to go back to the weather. I've got things in my, I've got text messages, but they're not critical. And so now I'm in this phase where I've got these 4 things. They're all on my lock screen. I don't even have to look at Gmail. There are things in Gmail that, should I give a fuck, that I could do. Now, if there's something in Gmail that I really, really want to do today, I could always star them, and then I can link to that, not only from my lock screen. Well, I could link to them from my lock screen by making it a calendar entry that says there are must-do items in your Gmail inbox. And I'll know that it's the starred things. I can even say, do the starred things in your, whatever I want to message myself, but that's not the case. I am a free man today. It's 10 o'clock. Normally I would be at work till 4 p.m., right? So now I've got 6 hours to do whatever the hell I want to do. And I'm going to start it by enjoying breakfast and some TV, very leisurely, get some more water, and then we'll be ready to spring off of, okay, now it's 11 o'clock-ish. What's going on there? And I think that, let me look real quick. Yeah, because we've got other things that we do. We even have the reminder of the context thing, taking the trash out. All good in the hood. This is wonderful. But I'm going to close the calendar just because I don't want to see it. I want to go back to my home screen and I want to operate off of this. And so the first thing I need to do is eat. And then I go from there with these other 4. I got 4 other things. One of them just being a strategy. So super excited about having gone through this. I've even learned more things about how to do this idea I had in my head, which is what kind of information do I need to get to myself? And I am specifically, this Gmail stuff's there. I know that it's there. It can be done. But I'm specifically telling myself right now that it doesn't need to be done because I'm not even linking to it. I will see it. It's in a major intersection because it's in the badge count. I got things in the badge counts in a major intersection, which is on my home screen. But I am going to use as my memory today, I'm going to use my lock screen. And so, yep. See y'all.